The man, I'm enthused to introduce him. Like, in fact, I'm amazed. He has his bachelor degree from the University of Cape Coast in the Central Region. And he went to the University of Dundee, Scotland, UK to do MBA in International Oil and Gas Management. At this point, I'm confused because someone who had a bachelor degree in commerce doing MBA in gas and oil management, I believe he will throw more light on it for us. He also has professional affiliation from the Institute of Chartered Economists Ghana. He is a leader development at the TDI Global, the initiator of my 3D. He is also a minister at the Church of Christ East Legon branch. And above all, he works at the National Petroleum Authority. With a round of applause, let's welcome Brother Prince AMOAKO.
Thank you. Good morning to all of us. I believe we are all doing well. I went to UCC, but here am I delivering at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. It is not by accident, because my wife also completed KNUST and she read pharmacy. And it is also not accidental because I'm also a final year student at Heritage Christian University College in Accra, reading theology, which is also affiliated to KNUST. And so I'm home. All right, that was a very powerful presentation, practical for us from our lawyer, and thank you very much for sharing your experience with us. I am going to be talking to you on the topic building career paths and entrepreneurial mindset. Building career paths and entrepreneurial mindset. By way of introduction, I wish to congratulate the organizers of this program. It is very, very insightful, and I wish to say a very big thank you to Jeff Abuaje for bringing us together on such a great occasion. Talking about success, what is success at all? If the theme for this gathering has got to do with the key to success, the biggest question is, what is success? Is success what you have been able to do compared with what others have done, or is it a different thing? Some people define success as what you have done compared to what others have done. But that is not the real definition of success. You know, in our international preparatory school days, you go to school and they do the categorization, A, B, C, D, E, F, depending on your school. And sometimes the sharks are taken to the A category, true or false. And the next to the sharks, they go to the B class, the C, the D, and the E, they pack them. And so you may be in an A class, you get 80%, and on the score list, in terms of the grading, you may be the 12th person in that particular subject. But take that 80 to C class or D class, and you are first, true or false. The same way, the one who had 40% or 50% or 60%, who is first in that subject, in the C category or D category, the person comes to the A category and the person is a failure. But is that the real definition of success? No. And so I've come to reorient our minds that when we talk about success, it is not what you have done compared to what others have done. But success is about what you have done compared to what you should have done. And in determining what you should have done, it must be linked to what you were created to do. That becomes success. And so you don't look up to your shoulders on your graduation day and say that, I'm graduating with second class lower. But when I look back, others have third class and pass. Hooray, I'm successful. What were you supposed to have achieved? First class. And now you are on lower, and you look to others who are passing out with pass and third class, and you say that you are successful because you are better off than others. The reason why success cannot be tied to what you have done compared with what others have done is the fact that at any point in time, you will get people who are better off than you and people to whom you are also better off than. And that is why you look to what you were created to do, what you should have done, rather than what others might have done. I want to give you 3 things before I move to the main topic, because I want to speak to the theme so as to step up the ground for my topic. And so therefore, having defined success, I want to connect you on 3 main rules, call it, to help us to achieve this. 1, value today. Value today. The dream to become an accountant is good. The dream to become an engineer is good. The dream to become a medical doctor is good. But the dream, the vision, does not make you an accountant unless you manage the dream, you manage the vision. That is it. So dreaming, we all dream. It is so easy to say, I want to make a decision today to become an engineer, to become an astronaut, to become a pharmacist, to become an agribusiness intellect and all of that. It is good that you have made that decision, but making that decision to become does not make you that accountant, that engineer, unless you manage that decision. So value today. It means then that you have to invest in today. What you want to become is tomorrow. But in order to get to where you want to become, you have to invest in today. So value today. Don't joke with your day. Don't waste the time. Our lawyer talked about the fact that we were supposed to start at 9 and we ended up wasting a whole lot of hours. Don't joke with your time. Each and every day, an hour, a minute, 30 minutes, invest it in yourself. It is so important. You have to be conscious of how you want to become successful as an individual. Because success is not a destination. It is a journey. It is a process. So you don't just land it. On your day of graduation, that is not the day you will say you have been successful. No, it is just a recognition of your success, because you were doing some things on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, throughout the 4 years. And so on that day, you are just being recognized. It's not that day that you are going to say that you are successful. It was something you were doing on a daily basis, attending lectures, putting yourself in a group study, doing assignments, having sleepless nights to prepare for exam. And so therefore, on that day of graduation, we only recognize you. That this is what you did the past 4 years, the past 3 years. Value today, my brother. Number 2, attitude is the difference maker. You see, if I buy you a brand new Mercedes-Benz and I give you the key to that car, no matter how expensive it is, if that car sits on a deflated tire, you cannot move it. True of us. Because how far that car can go depends on the tires. And that is it. Your attitude, you have to work on it. You can be that intelligent, astute, dynamic, effective communicator, but if you have a very horrible character or attitude, it will take you nowhere. Because you cannot go beyond the limitation of your own character. And interestingly, as it has been said, that the graveyard is the place that has been determined as the richest place, when one dies, your potential, your undiscovered talent and gift, they just go down there in the grave. but you cannot bury a person's character. It is the only character that leaves the tomb and walks with those who went to the graveyard to mourn the dead and lives there. Because as they are coming, they are talking about the person who is there. They are talking about his or her what? Character. Throughout the funeral, they will be talking about the person's character. In fact, we say that dead men rule the world. Kwame Nkrumah is gone, but his legacy still lives on. Why? Because of his character. And so character don't die. We may die, but our character may live. And so it is important for us to know that attitude matters. It does. It does matter. So we have to shun all that laziness and make sure that we build a very positive attitude. Work smart. Work smart. That is the third point. You have to work smart. It is important to have that intelligent quotient. But now what is reigning is about emotional what? Intelligence. Emotional intelligence moves beyond the fact that I am chasing first class, I'm chasing second class upper, I'm chasing second class lower, so that when I graduate, I can be able to do my master's or do a professional exam. No. You have to work smart. In our day and era of technology, we have to be smart in our dealings. And emotional intelligence means then that you are conscious of yourself. You know what you want. If you are at this stage in your university and you don't know what you want, then it means you are suffering from schizophrenia. You are in identity crisis. You don't know yourself. Because if you know what you want will also know you and click. And so by this, I want to challenge you that you have to work smart. Get to know what you want. Get to know the things you love. Get to know what others have done also. And the last thing before I move to the main topic of the day has got to do with making trade-offs. You can't be in a group study, you pick question 1, question 2. Nobody is able to solve in that group. Please, dissolve it. Question 1, no one is able to attempt it. Question 2, question 3, question 4, question 5. And you wake up 3 a.m., 5 a.m., and you go, and all that you are concerned about is I'm going for group studies. Group studies that you go to be with underachievers. Number 1, no show, mediocres. They are unable to solve any question. Please. When I was at the university, if I come group study 1, 2, and I realize that they are all not on top, I leave that group and go to those who are what? Serious. It has to be done. It must be deliberate. So, in order to go up, you need to give up. Give up on your friends. And here the attitude comes in. You have roommates who are chasing girls. You have roommates who just, after having fun with Barcelona playing Chelsea, they are also going to do lottery and gambling, which is soccer bet. Your chop money that you are supposed to eat, you go and trade it off in the name of what? Soccer betting. And you waste your resources. So we need to do certain trade-offs. Building career paths. How do we build that career path? I'll start with this. If we can build career path, we must develop one attitude, which has got to do with adding value to people. Adding value to people. But you know what? You cannot add value to people when you yourself, you are not more valuable. True or false? Nifreni ochre nifreni kwai. Ameye. There be. So if you want to be valuable, then you must not just have the intention to add value to people, but first, you must be a person of value. And I'm going to challenge you today that don't pursue success. Don't pursue success. You interview people and they say, I want to become a successful person. No, don't pursue success. Pursue value. Pursue value. Because most people just look at the role, the profession, the fame you get, the money that you are attracted to and all of that, and that push them to do what they are doing without having to add value to themselves. Our lawyer was talking to us, and in essence, he had added value to himself. If on a Saturday, even going to the market brings him money, it is because he is now valuable, and so money is attracting him, true of us. That is it. When you become valuable, money attracts you. But if you are not valuable, money will not attract you. And that is why your manager will take home 5,000 and you will take home 1,000. The difference is value. His experience, his knowledge, the institutional memory he has, you have no clue. Lawyer has 7 years of experience. If someone passes out and has just an internship or national service experience, you cannot compare yourself with him. Dr. Kweji Agri said one thing, and I quote him. He said that if someone is intellectually better than you are, you take his words. W-O-R-D-S. If someone is intellectually better than you are, you take the person's words. And so you have people to whom you study with. You have people who are your classmates. You have people whom you want to take on as your role models. But if they are intellectually better than you are, but morally corrupt than you are, you don't copy their lives. You only take their words, which is in their intellect to help you, but you don't copy their morally corrupt life. And I continue by saying that Dr. Kweji Agri also said the same thing, that if someone is morally better than you are, you copy the person's life. You see, we are talking about career paths. And we are saying that it is important for you to know those who are intellectually better than you are and those who are morally better than you are. It is important for you to be sensitive to these two important things. So number one, I would say that know your purpose in life. If you can determine a particular career path, you need to know what? Your purpose in life. Number one, you see, there are two great days in this world. The day you were born, that is number one, and the day you discover why. Why were you born? Two great days, not the day of your birth and the day of your death, but the day of your birth and the day you discover why you were what? Born. It is so important. So if you have not discovered the why you were born, you will still be struggling in life. Because your senior brother, your junior sister, your auntie's son, daughter said, it is good to do engineering, it is good to do biology, and you also bought the university forms and you said, let me do it. You see, your father was a teacher, your mother was a pharmacist, and so at a point in time, there was a debate in the house. Because of fame, your mother said, go and do medicine. Because of money, your father said, go and do pharmacy. That crisis. So many people are living the dreams of their parents. They are just living within the shadow of their friends' dreams. And at a point, people don't love the courses they are reading at the university. People don't love the profession to which that course is going to make them become because they don't know their purpose in life. And people are helping other people build their dreams without them having to realize that they must also have a dream and chase. So there is a difference. If you are suffering from identity crisis, get to know your purpose. Most people don't know their purpose. And if you don't know your purpose, your friends may tell you, your parents may confuse you, society may make it worse because you have failed to listen to yourself. How do I guide you to do that? One, everyone has got a talent. True or false? How do you discover this talent? In discovering this talent, we must be able to determine our hobby, passion level, and career passion level. There are some of the passions that we develop or have that has got to do with our hobbies, and there are those that are also linked to our career. So if you want to determine your career path, you need to determine that your emotion and your devotion. You are so emotionally attached to this particular activity, but do you devote much time and resources to this activity? Let me help you practically. So someone is talented at just waking up and jogging, waking up, going to the field, see others play, join in the play, and at the end of the day, he goes back to the house. He has that high level of emotion to sports. By the end of the day, after going through all these exercises, he just go to sleep or go by his normal or her normal activity. Another person goes to train but hits the gym, and after hitting the gym, he or she joins an academy to be trained professionally, and you realize that the two are not the same. Are we on the same page? And so, to help you with this, let me just help you better. If you have high emotion for a particular activity, but you have less devotion to that particular activity, that cannot be your career path. It's just a hobby. So there are people who are emotionally attached to songs. Songs that others might have sung, but they don't devote time to compose their own lyrics and to sing it and to make it their profession to say that they are musicians. And there are those that will just go and do infichire bobo, 4-4 pools and those kind of things. And there are those that will align themselves to any football coach team in order to become professional footballers. And so if you have high level of emotion and high level of devotion, then at the end of the day, that becomes your career path. And so someone will say that, I have love for words. So I have high emotion. I'm able to use words. Each and every time I'm speaking to people, I'm having an encounter with people. So then that person devotes time each and every day, an hour. He goes to CNN, he goes to BBC, he listens to other speakers. And by that time, that person is devoting time to it. And the question then comes, is there a market for that? If it is a hobby, you will not ask, is there a market for this interest that I have, this passion that I have, that is linking me to do this particular thing? Is there a market? You will not ask yourself that question. So is there a market for the course you are pursuing? The accounting, the finance, the economics, the linguistics, the sociology, and all of that. Is there a market for it? And once you are able to do that, it is helping you to build the required competence for that. So you have the talent. You've been able to discover those things that are hobbies and those things that will help you to have that interest in that particular career. But the next thing is you need to develop competence, right? Competence is very important. In fact, it calls a ruling president to move into opposition. In this country, when Dr. Baumia was lambasting President Mahama, incompetent, it moved him from power into what? Opposition. And now he is in what? Power, in power. And he's being measured on the same words. Competence has three main traits. List them. Number one is knowledge. Number two is skill. Number three is character. After you have been able to identify your interest and attach it to a particular activity, you need to build competence, and one is knowledge. Knowledge in that field of study. It is important. That is why you are here reading the program that you are reading. And I want to believe that you are not doing it just to make your parents proud or to fit into society or to make your friends endorse you that you have also arrived, but you are doing it because you love to do it, and whatever the outcome may be, you'll be proud of yourself. So it is important for you to build the knowledge. The next thing is that in doing that, it helps you to know which profession you can create out of the career path. And so if your interest is in accounting, you have accountancy bodies, you have the ACCA, you have the ICA Ghana, you have the CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst. If you know that your career path has got to do with numbers, you move to the arena of finance, you move to the arena of economics, you have the Institute of Chartered Economists of Ghana, they also have the US one. You align your interests with the requisite knowledge so that you can become globally competitive, because that is the order of the day. So it is important to build the knowledge. The skill is also important. So when people are trooping into their departments for attachment letters, don't detach yourself from this exercise. Lazy man, lazy woman, don't spend a long time vacation and say that it is rest time. No. If you want to be successful, you've got to burn the midnight candle. So go for the internship letters, go and do internship. It is very important. Don't run away for the internship. It is able to build you to get that requisite skills. And character, I've talked about that. You need to be disciplined, you need to be focused. You need to have a sense of direction and purpose in life. That builds your character. So if you are gifted in lateness, if you are gifted in poor interpersonal skills, that is if you are gifted, meaning it has become your habit. You talk anyhow, you behave anyhow, you don't create positive environment so that people can walk into your space. If you are competent in that, please pension yourself, okay, so that you can build a worthwhile career. So there are three main areas, career options that I'm going to discuss with you. We have the arts, which has got to do with the social sciences. We have the sciences, which has got to do with the physical and experimenting. We have the humanities, which has got to do with organization, business, and also other social paths. So if you got me correctly, then in art, you can get information studies, you can get communicating studies, having the requisite dynamism in writing, moving into journalism, legal work, and librarianship. If you listen to me well in sciences, you can have maths, biology, physics, to become a surgeon, to become a dietitian, to become an engineer, for that matter. And if you listen to me carefully, then in the arena of humanities, you can have accountants, clerks, auditors, and a host of others. Now, to just move within the space of the second one, is about entrepreneurship. We are through with the career. Maybe the questioning time will help me to relate to you and to be able to help you. But it is important for you to build a career and forget about job. You see, sometimes people don't know the difference between career and job. You may have a profession, you may have a career, but if you only frame your mind that I just want to work in the oil and gas industry, if you pick a form to just work in the banking industry, now it is collapsing. So where will you take your banking and finance? Do you get it? But if you build a career in accountancy, in banking and finance, or in economics, then irrespective of whether the banking sector is collapsing or not, you will still be relevant within that space or industry. So don't target the job. I just want to work in the banking sector. That is the job. I just want to work in the oil and gas industry. That is the job. You see, it's the job, the title that gets you to that career. No. Build a career. Because when you are an accountant, when you are a lawyer, even if you are not into private base as a practitioner, you can still find yourself in any organization as their lawyer. So once you build that career, you have the certificate to prove, you have the required competence to show, then every and any industry will be looking out for you. And that is how you should position yourself. Sometimes people say, I want to work in the bank, I want to work at this place or that place. Choose your career. Once you have your career, you can fit into any of these places. Now, what is reigning is that earlier on, we used to talk about the fact that knowledge is power, right? And we move from that fact that knowledge is power to knowledge empowers. And now, entrepreneurship is taking over. And it's no longer knowledge is power, knowledge empowers, but knowledge is profit. And so, therefore, the more you learn, the more you earn. Can we repeat that? Knowledge is what? Profit. And so, therefore, the more you learn, the more you earn. So, entrepreneurship is taking over. We are told that Ghana, we are now about 30 million of a population, and it's about over 600,000 people that have been employed by the government. So those who wake up at dawn, get home late in the night, who have employed them? Is it not individuals? Is it not industries? Is it not these private-based companies? So entrepreneurship is taking over. You see, poor people talk about money. Poor people, when they gather, they talk about money. I want to get money. I want to get money. Then the rich people, when they meet, they talk about things. I want to buy this car. I want to buy this house. I want to, go here or there. But those who are wealthy, they talk about ideas. So don't just focus on money. Don't just focus about, hey, if I get to work at this place, I'm going to buy my first car, I'm going to rent, I'm going to own a plot of land. Those are things. But pursue ideas. That is what people who want to create wealth and leave a legacy for generations to tap into. They don't just debate over money and waste their time on things, but they debate over ideas. So you are here, find a problem. Entrepreneurs, what they do is to find what? A problem. And when you find that problem, you ask yourself, how do you fit in the solution to that problem? So then just run through your 4-year education with no idea. Some of you have an idea. Okay, I'm a science student in my village. I am a nurse. I am a doctor in my village. How do I impact the skills that I have received to the people at the village? Now you are not thinking about money. You are not thinking about the demeanor upon yourself. The fame that you think you are going to lose. A medical doctor. Barack Obama was just on the Wall Street. Neglected place, but he became a president. Jack Ma, the multi-billionaire who is the owner of Alibaba, he went for a KFC interview. 23 people, he was the 23rd person who was not offered employment. 22 were taken, he was not taken. He was refused on countless occasions, but yet he pursued. He persevered. So I want to challenge all of us that don't just think about, I want to work for the government, I want to work in the public sector because there you get job security. Who told you? Who told you that when you even get there, it means you have arrived? Because the politics in there, it is never easy. If politics doesn't keep you out of that place, because of your mediocre mentality, you get there with your first degree, and 10 years, you still have first degree. No masters, no personal development, and at the end of the day, your organization, you will see that you are not even adding value. you have become a liability to the company, so they are left with no option to fire you. I have a son. I work with MPA. If I retire one day, I cannot take my son to the workplace and say, replace me. Let my son what? Take over. If lawyer ends his practice, I'm told lawyers don't retire. All right. But if any lawyer retires in the grave, it is not automatic that his sons or children can just walk and occupy those shoes that his parents or her parents wear. But if he left a legacy which has got to do with a business, that person can walk in and become the CEO. So become your own boss and dictate the pace at which you work and wake up. Because if I go to work at 8 a.m. and close at 5 p.m., that is about 9 hours, right? If I had my own business and I'm investing 9 hours into it each and every day, do you know the results and the value is going to bring to my pocket and to society? I'm not saying that, working is not good. It is good that you find work to do, but you must have other streams of income, because now your salary is just a hand to mouth. It's just helping you to pay light bill, water bill, and your rent. But what wealth can you ever create to become sustainable other than a business of your own? And so bring out your creativity, battle out with your ideas. What can you contribute to society? You have village lands there. You can go there. That place, no litigation. You cough out 500 Ghana cedis, they will just go and show you. That one, they will not even measure. They say from this point to that point to this point is for you. 500 Ghana. You start your maize farm. You start your tomato farm. Think about all of these. You have ready and available market, because the entrepreneur, after you've come out with the idea, you want to put that idea to use. And what are the resources? Well, land could be part. You yourself, the human resource, you become a factor. The capital, the money that you have is in your hands. You have it. Unfortunately, we waste all our monies on credits, to buy data, to be on YouTube, watching unnecessary stuff, to do soccer betting, wasting and throwing our monies out unnecessarily. And sometimes we give it to the girls. Create a business of your own. Create that idea that you have. You can have it. Others started on campus. Cocoa cane. Now, today, when you come to Accra, everywhere is what? Cocoa cane, cocoa cane. He started on a smaller scale. And now, cocoa cane is everywhere. There's a Legon student who completed School of Business and also started this atomic wachi. You know, these days when you are in traffic, people will be selling wachi. They've already packed it and everything, nice packaging, they will be selling it. So you can start. If you have love and interest for cooking, it's not just for hobby. Add value to that cooking and make money out of it. So a lot of events happen on campus. You go see the organizers, and then you can do that pie, that spring roll, and you put value on it, and you are going. That is how entrepreneurs do. They spot opportunities, and they seize those opportunities. They pursue, they chase those opportunities, and once they get it, they move. So you go, people are doing sobolo, right? Events, and they are making money. Coconut sellers, someone will just go to the place, get it at a low cost, and at weddings, at naming ceremonies, they just pitch their tent with their business name, and they are selling the coconut. You have the idea. Build, come out with the idea, because now it is entrepreneurship that is ruling. Now people start the business, they start making the money, and they start to chop the income. Just like running a poultry farm. Akoko no tunko suya no wasoma ne ma no munko yimra na yendi so ho. Ti akoko no tuko suya abena kohwe kosuya no ne afeche no aba no wadi. The day akosidiosis any Newcastle ebetiasi your cocoa farm, and so no. Then at the end of the day, your farm business is gone, your poultry business is gone. So it is a wise man who breaks into a bone when you give him an egg. Do you know why? Because if you allow akoko to hatch the egg, it will turn into what? Another what? Another chicken. True of us. And by that, you are multiplying your poultry farm business. You are not just squandering or just eating, consuming, because Africans, we are noted for that. We don't want to save. We don't want to reinvest our income in the business. We are noted for consumption, spending. That is why even our own budget, national budget, we have to borrow. We have to get aid in order to be able to feed ourselves. But we don't want to put ourselves in this mess. So please, invest in a business. Create a business of your own. Invest your time, your devotion. Think about it. And as you do that genuinely and for a purpose, give yourself 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, it multiplies and it becomes stable. And at the end of the day, you can enjoy. My time is up, and so I'll just open up for questions. Thank you very much.
Let's give him a round. He said, invest in today to become what you want to become tomorrow. Invest in today to become what you want to become tomorrow. It's time for questions, and you're taking 5 questions for the first set of questions, then we move on. So you turn your microphone on and ask the question. You're taking 5 questions for the first set of questions.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. Please, my question has to do with some of us. I'm Joseph Abuaji. I'm reading BA Economics. Some of us, the courses the school gave to us, they are not the ones we actually wanted to do. But here we are doing it. So in this case, what advice do you have for us in order for us to achieve our career? Thank you.
And next question.
Good afternoon. I'm Baden Felicity. Yeah. Please, my question is, before that, I have passion for improving humanity. Okay. Yeah. So what will be some of the courses that will help me, shape that vision or passion in case I want to, make it, in the cooperative world? Thank you.
Okay.
Alex, yeah. In the first session, you talked about working smart in the academics aspect. I want you to talk about working smart in the career path.
Okay, my name is Emmanuel. My question is, normally when we go for programs like conferences, entrepreneurship talks, when we hear this kind of messages, we are motivated. But then soon after we leave here, a month after this place, we are going to forget. Like the drive is missing. So what will keep us? What will keep motivating us for us to do this?
Okay, the last question for this section. Okay.
My name is Nanekia. Okay. And then my question is, you see, sometimes you have a lot of passions. And then, like, someone told me that it's not good to, like, be everywhere, trying to do a lot of things. But then you have interest, like, equal interest in all of them, and you want to pursue them. So is it too much to pursue a lot?
Okay. So if you answer this question, then go.
All right. Thank you very much. Joseph, it reminds me of the days when we were on campus. I read BCom, and BCom is one of the tough business programs. And the economics department, economics is also very tough. And in that department, anytime the result comes out and you don't get to hear of it early, by the time you go, students have gone to just smash the notice board. because of the grades. So by the time you go, they have just used stones to just crash the notice board so that they will take the results away. They don't want people to know their level, that they failed. So sometimes you go, and whilst you are looking at the remarks or the results, when someone had A, you say, yes, I had A. When the person had D, you say, oh, lecturer, no mommy D. So you were talking about the courses the university gave us, but you chose, right? You made a choice. And so you have to accept the responsibility for it. I know that sometimes your first choice goes with a particular course of study, and sometimes the university gives you, another course and all that. But sometimes we don't take the time to look at the risk. Because if I had economics, but truly I wanted to do accounting, I am now comparing myself with my year groups who are now moving into the university. And so if I want to delay 1 year, that I'm comparing myself with is as if I'm a failure. My society or my parents will say that all my colleagues are going to the university and I have to wait for 1 year. Sometimes in order to better your grades, to be able to get that dream program of study. And so for fear of this intimidation and humiliation, we just jump and just go and do that course. That is what happens most times. I have colleagues who wanted to do BCom, they didn't get BCom because of their grades. At our time, we were 99, but some people had protocol, so they entered in. But instead of them to have bettered their grades, they accepted Bachelor of Education in accounting, Bachelor of Education in this and that. And they were not happy with what they were doing. But if they had waited and probably bettered their grades, they could have gotten BCom in the next year and still be doing the course that they were doing. But you are in it already. And so the advice I will give you is that finish that particular course. Don't just quit. Finish it. Now, the university degree is just becoming the basis. And so whichever field you may have that interest or love for, after the first degree, you can go back and do that, so that what you are doing becomes the stepping stone to what your dream program or course may be. I hope you are clear on that. And Felicity, the passion for improving humanity is a good one, to have that passion to help society. You have to determine the nature of the help you want to offer. You get it? Some have passion in the arena of medicine, and so they go into midwifery and nursing, because that is also another field of what? Improving humanity. So that when you go to the hospital, you are able to tell the one who moved into nursing because the work is lucrative. We have high level of unemployment, but nursing, they are post you, so you have job working for you. And you have someone who actually loves the nursing. The way I'll be attended to you, sometimes we are nursing, we be dressed from top to down. What they are really brain, true of us. So you are able to tell the nurse who has that passion, the oil and any general does obey any or what the entire will be as a kind of church in the day. So it can also be in the arena of teaching, right? Teaching is also another way of improving humanity, because education is a tool that can unlock a lot of things. And so you have to determine the nature of it. Now, if it is in the field of motivational or public speaking, then at the end of the day, in all of these, it helps you to know where you can get trained. So I will recommend, I had that passion of leadership training and also public speaking. And so I enrolled 2 years with TDI Global. It's a Canadian company, but based in Ghana. And so as part of the side work that I do, I'm also into leadership development coaching. So you can get enrolled with TDI Global Ghana, so that they can fine-tune the passion that you have. Because I believe in training, that don't just watch motivational speeches. Don't just listen to motivational messages and call yourself a motivational speaker. Get that professional training to complement that passion that you have, so that at the end of the day, you become an authority in that particular field. So I will recommend TDI Global, and I'm also there if you need assistance in terms of the coaching to do that, to assist you. I hope you are okay. Alex, working smart in the area of career. Yes, you see, gone were the days that, let me use accounting. We studied all these debit, credit, bookkeeping records. But now, if you want to be smart, you are going to work with an accounting software. Right? You work with an accounting software. And you can graduate with first class. If you are not good in Microsoft Excel and in these accounting softwares, I tell you, your first class will be counterproductive on the field of work. Because sometimes the theory, poor pass, is easy for some people. But when it comes to the practical knowledge, it's very difficult. You have some attachment staff, they come, I give them work to do, go and reconcile this. They will come and bring the same work to me, say, Mentiasie. Probably when the CV, so now, okra first class. Untimenya simple bank reconciliation, a problem, man. Go and write a memo, Memo, what the bebano, who left, who right. But also a VA school, you get it. And so you have to fall in love with technology and be able to fine-tune that with presentation skills. You see, after you have prepared that report, don't just center on just producing the report, but you must also build that communicative skills to be able to communicate the report so that others can make meaningful decisions out of it. That is smartness. And so if you have a career in accountancy, in whatever field, you must build your communicative skills so that you can come out with the very best for people to make economic and health decisions out of that. I hope I have helped you. So that is the way you have to go. Don't just also major in one field. Someone asked about, you may have a lot of passions. There is this adage, jack of all trades, right? And master of none. All right. My first degree, you mentioned. My first degree was in Bachelor of Commerce. My second degree, I did in Scotland. I read International Oil and Gas Management. You see, you can have more than one area of interest. You get it? I read an MBA in International Oil and Gas and Management because of the course I took with the Institute of Chartered Economists of Ghana. I did petroleum economics with them. And so thereafter, I developed that interest in that field. And so that compelled me to do my master's in that field. And I had 5 career paths that I'm pursuing. I had in mind that these are going to be the 5 career paths that I'm pursuing. It means then that you shouldn't just, specialization is good and it's okay, but it is also important for you to know that once you specialize is good, but then to have multiple area of interest of specialization is also another good thing. So that you are not just aligned to just one thing. You are noted for just one thing. You are good for only what? One thing. And once we change you or there is a change, then it becomes a problem. So I went into oil and gas, and then I came to accountancy instead of Chartered Accountant Ghana. So then into leadership development. And now I told you I'm doing theology. You get it? Because I'm into ministry as well. I minister at a church. And I need to fine-tune that interest and motive that I have by also receiving the requisite training. I told you I believe in training. And so I'm at my final year. God willing, next year, December, I'm going to graduate. Theology. So will someone say that all these specializations and area of interest is useless? No, it is needful. So that at the end of the day, when you are speaking, you are able to relate things well and to be able to impact that knowledge onto others. So it is important for you to document your area of interest and monitor. Sometimes, interest we don't write it. And not writing your interest is also a sure recipe of non-compliance. You will never comply to them because as you go to and fro, at the end of the day, you either forget, be misled, or become confused. So once you develop that interest, document it, write it down. Once you start it, build in a mechanism to monitor. You can let your friends monitor you. You can have your role models to monitor you. That is why it is important to know whom you want to become, so that at the end of the day, you'll be able to identify those who have already become whom you want to become in order to be under their tutelage, because that is also very important. Nanekia, yeah, so I think that is all. Nanekia, are you okay with that? Are you okay? All right. So I am grateful for the patience you had. And at least, let us all go and be change agents. That change must first begin with us. The change starts with us, and it is that we must identify our purpose in life. We were all created for a purpose. So find that purpose, and after you've been able to find that purpose, know what you are talented at. What others will at any point in time say that you are good at, and make sure that you pursue it. You get the requisite knowledge, the skills, and you build in the better character to sustain that particular area of interest. And above all, make sure that you come out with a business of your own, start it, make sure it works, and at the end of the day, make sure that you seek for God's guidance and direction, because that is also very important. Thank you very much.
Shall we give him a round of applause? Thank you very much, Mr.
The Passion Achievers. We pursue our passion.